Hey everybody, what is up and welcome back to the channel. And today, I figured I'd take you guys along in on doing some recording. I'm actually going to be recording some bass tracks today, and I've got a couple songs I've been working on writing, and I've got the drums and the guitar riffs in it, but I haven't laid down the bass tracks yet. So I'm going to lay down some bass tracks today, and I figured I'd just take you guys along and show you how I do it with my 16-track MR16 that I use for recording, and I've been using recording forever. Now, if you guys are curious to how these recordings come out and how they sound when they're done, if you guys have been watching the channel, I have released 4 videos this past year that are out that are my songs. They're my original music that I wrote, produced the videos, and recorded everything on here, mixed and mastered on this MR16. This is a Fostex MR16. And they're up on my channel, so you guys can check them out. And as a matter of fact, when you first click on it, the one song, Darkness Falls, starts playing right away. Now, that one was recorded a little differently because that is actually this MR16 playing through these speakers. And it sounded so good that I just left it that way when I recorded it for that video. Because that video was actually me messing around. But you can listen to all the recordings, you can listen to the songs, you can see the videos, and you'll hear how good it actually sounds. And I'm not some pro audio guy or some great recording guy. I know how to use this, and I know how to use it to well enough for me to make recordings. This thing does a lot more than I even use on it, but for what I know how to do on it, this is what I do. I'm still always learning and working it out. But I figured I'd take you guys along and show you guys, kind of how I do my recording, how I record my songs. And you guys can go back and listen to those on my channel. Or you can go to my band channel, which is Silverflow. I think it's Silverflow/band or Silverflow. And you'll find my actual videos there as well for the band channel. That's just all the videos. And you guys can listen to that. And then you guys can tell me what you think. But today we're going to be using probably a couple different bass guitars, probably a couple Ibanez's and PVs. Bass, I've got a PV Millennium over there that I just got, and I got an Ibanez SRX 700 that I really like, which is probably what I'm going to do the recording on. But I haven't decided yet, and I've got to get the bass stuff hooked up. But I also wanted to show you guys that I'm actually going to use this Sonic Cake. And I've done a review on this, so you guys can go back and check that out. I have done a review on this pedal, but this has a direct out. It has a direct line out right here, so I don't have to hook it up to an amp. I can literally plug this in right here and run it direct into the recorder and record. And it has a preamp section right here, and then it's got fuzz, and it's got a boost and comp, and then it's got an octave on it. And I really love this. This is a great pedal rig. It's so simple, and for a bass player, this is all you would ever need, at least for me anyway, is all I ever need when it comes to recording, and it just sounds really good. So actually, all the bass that I've done on my songs that I've released are all done with this, or done straight through my Fender. I have a Fender Rumble 100 that has a direct line out that I think I used the direct line out on that to record the bass lines on memory. But on some of the other stuff, it's this. On the two, I know the 2 last releases I did. I know I did with Darkness Falls and with Breaking the Chain. I used this, just this. So, and that's what you're hearing, the bass on those is just this. So let me get this hooked up, and we're going to run it into there. And I actually going to take this over here because it's all hooked into my bass rig. I just unplugged it real quick so I could show you guys what I was using. But I'm going to set it on this chair over here, and I'm going to hook it up and get it all plugged in because the power cord is running behind a whole bunch of other stuff, and I wouldn't have to undo that and dig it out. And I'm going to hook it up, and then I'm going to get all rigged up, and then we'll start doing recording. And I haven't practiced the bass lines for this, so you're probably going to see me mess up a bunch of times to try to get through it. I got to do some playthroughs and stuff, but I figured I'd just take you along in the process of how this works and how I do this anyway. I mean, everybody's got their ways of doing it, but this is how I do it using this multi-track recorder right here, and I've got my monitors right here as well. So without further ado, let me get this hooked up, and we'll get back to doing some recording. Alright everybody, so I've got everything set up. We are getting things situated here. Messing around with some of the volume and stuff. I decided to use my SDGR 700. I thought it was an SRX for some reason, but my other one's an SRX. This is a really amazing Ibanez bass that I just got recently, not too long before Christmas. I picked this up probably a month or so before Christmas. I remember there's a video when it all came in. I posted videos about when the boxes got smashed and stuff, but I really like this bass. I mean, it's super cool, man. I mean, it sounds really good. It's got active pickups in it, so it's really thunderous. I mean, it just really pushes it. You have to dial things back when I'm recording, but we're gonna get in here and run through this and do this. Now, this song, just so you guys know, is in drop D. So I've got this guitar tuned, this bass tuned down to drop D as well. And part of what I do here, so if you guys are wondering how my setup is, like this notebook here is where I take notes and write things down when I'm doing fills or whatever, and I'm jotting things down in notes as I'm recording. I've got a lot of different stuff written down in here for different stuff. But the way I do this and stuff, the way this has to get set up is right. So this cable right here is actually running back to that pedal that I showed you guys earlier, and it's all set up there. Now, I don't have any distortion or anything turned on in it. I probably should turn the preamp on it, though, which I have not done. But let me do that real quick, because I haven't turned it on. So this is live. So let's kick on the preamp. So I just turned the preamp on there. So I'm running through the preamp on that. Now I don't have this cranked up super loud in here. You guys will see, maybe I'll turn up just a hair. But that sounds pretty good to me in here. Hopefully it sounds pretty decent to you guys up there. But that preamp gives it just a pretty nice little warm sound to it. And just a little bit of fuzz. And that's the way I kind of like it. I am a pick bass player because I'm actually a rhythm guitar player. I do love playing bass though, and the finger thing, I'm just not really good at. I have tried it. I keep working at it, but I'm just not really good at the fingers. I'm just so used to doing the pick thing that's what I do. But the other thing we do is, so we got the bass set up. I've got my switch turned on now. So that's the only thing I'm running on there. I have the preamp turned on that pedal. That's the only thing I'm running on there. And then through here, this is a trim setting right here. And on this, when you set your trim, I'm looking at my levels here to see how loud it is. And the trim will actually show a red dot. If you're playing too loud, it'll start showing a peak level right here, and it starts showing red. And you don't ever want to see the peak level. Sorry, I'm talking over that. But you don't ever want to see your peak level showing. So if that red's clipping, then you want to make sure you dial things back, whether you're dialing it back on the bass. You have to balance this out with this so it's not peaking, but still be in the right range of levels so when you're leveling out. Now, you've got level adjustments here too, but in the recording process, you want to kind of set that. There's a marker on these that marks where you want to set that for recording, and you kind of want to put it in the middle of these lines right here. So I have that set. I've got my drums kind of set in the guitars. It's not necessarily that important to have it EQ'd out right now because I'm more focused on getting the bass line. So I need to hear what's going on, but I'll EQ it out after I get the bass line in there. I can adjust it more. But what you have to do, I had everything turned on, but for this recorder, I'm going to turn everything off. There's an input A switch here, and this runs your stereo bus level and your EQ level. So you turn those two on. So that's my stereo bus level that I've got on there, and I have that turned halfway, and then my reverb and EQ setup here is turned about halfway, and then I can control that. There's an effects send switch right here, and I can control the effects that are coming into it in EQ right here on this knob right here, and I have that just turned up about a quarter. And then I have to arm the track that I'm recording, which is by hitting that. So I have these are flashing, and then you have to arm your recording button like that as well. And now everything's ready to go. And so now I can do a playthrough track where I just play through and kind of listen to it and play through and figure out the parts I'm going to do. And then I can go back and hit the record button and record. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the record button even on the first playthrough and just kind of see how well I do. And if I mess up, that's fine, because I can erase it and delete it and undo and delete it. But I'm just going to kind of go through and I'm going to do my thing and just keep working through and coming up with the bass riff, the line that I want. Now, probably the first time I record is just going to be more of a basic type bass riff, just so I get a bass riff in there. And then I'll go back and probably tweak it later. It just depends on how good it comes out on the first take. I haven't done this song in probably a few weeks. This song's actually been recorded for several months now. I just haven't gotten into doing the bass lines. So I'm going to be a little rusty on it, but I've been wanting to do it. I've been just busy doing other stuff. So here we go. We're going to give it a shot, and we're going to see what happens. And this is just how I do it, and I hope you guys enjoy how this goes. So I'm going to hit the record button. We'll see what happens. The cool thing about it is, during recording, because I don't have mics hooked up and I'm going direct into this, it doesn't matter how much noise is being made around me. That's what I like about going direct into my recorder. And I try to do that with most stuff, except when I actually try to record drums over there. I can't go direct in with drums. Now, I've had electronic drum kit I could go direct in, which would be nice, and it's something I've thought about for the future. But if I try to record acoustic drums, then you have to just deal with whatever happens with that. So we're going to hit the record button and see how this plays out. And you're probably going to see me make a bunch of mistakes and mess up, but this is how I do it. So let's make it happen. Oh, and the other thing is, if you are moving your hand as soon as you heard that record button, it'll pick all that up. So that is one thing. When you're doing it this way, you want to make sure your hands are where you want it to be at, ready to go, so you're not making any noise. Up. And I made my first mistake. So I have protection on this. So for me to even record, I have to go into my thing and go into the song and then take the protection off so I can record. And that keeps you from erasing or deleting. So now the protection's off. Now we can do it. So there you go. So that's just the process. How it goes. Make sure we got sound again, and let's see what's gonna happen. All right, that wasn't too bad. I think I can do better, but that really wasn't too bad. And the trickiest part about that is, like, when you do the stop, making sure you don't create any noise to go hit that stop button. So it's always nice to have somebody else helping you out when you're recording sometimes, because they can do those little things so you don't have to move, so you can get that recording. But let's hear it back and see how it sounds now that we got a little bit of bass in there, and see what we got. And I'll EQ it a little bit. So we have to turn everything off. And now let's... Here we go. All right, it's picking up the pick sound for some reason in it. So the bass sounds good, but I can hear the pick sound in it. I know what it is. I know what it is. I can hear it right here. I'm hitting this. I'm actually hitting the pickup, and you can hear that in it. So I need to. That's what it is. All right. So I can hear the pick scraping that, which is crazy. So the one thing I can do is I can hit this undo redo button right here. And when I hit this undo redo, it'll take it all out. So I just hit undo redo. It says undo redo. It says undo redo completed. And then we can start all over again. So we need to do that again because it's hearing the pick sound. So we got to go back through it, play the whole thing over again, and see how it comes out. So let's play through it again and see how it works. This is a long process. I mean, to get that sound to sound like you want it, not have the pick sound going on. And that's the plus side when you're not a pick player. You don't have that problem. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to turn everything on. See if I can hear that. Let's play it again. Still getting that picky sound, so I think I'm gonna have to switch basses and see if I can find one that's not doing that. I think it's because I had this top string drop down to D, which is kind of causing that so I think it's causing a rattle. So let's see here. Let's tune it back up and see if it does that with it tuned up. I recorded with this. Let's try a couple different things. Let's see if I can switch some stuff on that. I really want to use this bass because I really like this bass. Let's see how that does. I turned the preamp off and just going straight without the preamp. Let's see what that does. Let's do a playthrough. We're just going to play a couple riffs and see how that works. Ah, that was bad. Let's try it again. I think that sounds better. So we're going to try that and see how it happens. So we're going to play through and see how that works out. Drink, and let's go for it again. All right. Let's give it a whirl. messed up. But it does sound better. Before we do anything else though, we're gonna listen to that. Just kind of see how that sounds, and I'll go back through and play it again. Alright, so you can hear that sounds way better. So the preamp off with this guitar sounds better. And I think it's because it's got active pickups. Because like I think the passive pickups when I use the preamp must have been sounding better. But with these active pickups, they're so active and putting out so much that preamp just really and it's causing that where you can really hear the pick. And we don't want that. So we're going to undo, redo. And we're going to play again. Because that's how this works. You just keep playing and keep doing it until you get it right. Now, if I get a really good track, I'll save that track. And then, if it's a good, consistent track, I'll save that. And then I'll have one good, solid track. And then I'll go back and try to do it 2 or 3 more times. And get like 2 or 3 tracks. And then I'll pick the best one out of those 3. And that's the one I'll end up using. I do that with the guitars as well. I do that with my leads, everything. I do like 2 or 3 tracks and try to get the best one, and it's like the best take of 3 is kind of what I do. Now with the drums, most of the time when I'm doing drums, I'm not usually recording on my drum kit. When I'm recording my drums, I'm usually using this, which is an Alias SR18, excuse me. It's Alias or Alias, however you want to say that, SR18. And this has drum pads on it. So it has toms, kicks, snares, hi-hats, open, closed, bell, crash, ride, all that. And I create my drum beats on that. I'm playing the drums with my fingers and creating those patterns. And then I'll program it all together in here. And I'll put the whole song together in one big long loop, if you want to say. And just program it on there. And then what I do is I take this and I plug it into here. And then I just play the drums and let them play through on there and record it. And that's how I've been doing my drums, because I'm not the greatest drummer, and I can get better stuff out of this than I can do myself right now. One day, hopefully, I'll be good enough where I feel like I can record myself playing the drums and it'll sound decent. But for now, this Alias SR18 has been doing a really good job for me. Those are actually the drums that you're listening to on this right now that I programmed in that. So that's what I'm using right now, just so you guys know. Anyway, let's get back to it. Always make sure you got sound. I messed up again because I was going to go boom, boom, boom. I was going to do the... And I don't want to do that. I want to be a boom, boom, boom. I just want to create some different dynamics in the song that's not the same all the way through. So yeah, I'm going to redo that. So we're going to rewind it. We're going to undo it. And we're going to play through it. Now, I could go in and fix my mistakes by punching in and punching out. You can do that. And it's not too hard to do that. But I really like playing through the whole song and doing it in one take. That's just me. I don't like going back and punching in things and trying to do that. I can do that. I do know how to do that. But for me, I like playing through the whole song for a multitude of reasons. One is that it makes me learn the song better and be able to play it better, and it also just makes me a better player. as I keep playing that and playing all the way through. I think that the art of playing all the way through the song is lost in recording today. I feel like people are so used to just playing a part. Like you could play the intro, and you could record that and stop, and then you could play the next riff, and then you could stop, and then you could put all that together and create a song. And that's how a lot of albums get recorded these days. If they do a piece of it and they piece it all together and then they put it all together and then they have the whole song, instead of playing all the way through like they used to do back in the day. They would go in the studio, the band would all be plugged up, and they'd have everything mic'd up and rigged up the way they need it, and then they would play through the songs, and then they would take the best take out of like 4 or 5 takes and then say, all right, that's the best take, that's the one we're going to use. And that's how they used to do it, but they just don't do that anymore. And for me, I'm old school. I'm used to playing all the way through, so that's what I do. So let's try it again. That's a pretty good take. All right. Whew. I almost did it again where I started going the dun 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 dun, and yeah, I almost did that, but I didn't. I went to almost did on the first one, that is. So let's listen to a little bit of it and hear how it sounds. Now that we got it in there. All right, that sounds pretty good. Now, this recorder has effects, and I'm actually running effects. So, I'm running Room and Natural, which is the two effects that I'm. Natural is a mastering effect, and you can have room, hall, plate, or delay, and I can turn that on as much as I want or as little as I want, and I can put it on each thing individually. So I'm actually, when you guys are listening to it, when we've been listening to it and recording it, I've had those on because it just gives it more mastered sound. I can show you the difference real quick. Like this is, I'll turn it off, and this is what it sounds like with it off, and then I'll turn it on so you guys can hear the difference. Now we're going to kick it on. Can you guys hear the difference? This really brings it out. Just a little bit more. So that is the difference between using the mixing and mastering and effect stuff and not using them, and it just really makes the song sound better, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's why I use them. But so that sounds pretty good so far with the bass in there. That sounds really, really good. I got to work on the solo a little more. There is a solo in there. I didn't have it turned up where it probably should be at to really hear it because I needed to be able to hear everything else that's going on right now, and the solos have got to have a boost in it, and I'm really focusing on playing the bass. So I had the solo kind of turned down. A lot of times I'll just cut it out while I'm working on the rhythm parts and then put it back in. I did the solo a while ago. It's in there. It's a good solo. It doesn't suck, and at least in my opinion, it doesn't suck. But it's my song, so maybe you guys think it sucks. But yeah, that's kind of how I do that. Now I'm gonna go back. I'm not gonna film all this. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a basic idea how I go about recording, and this is what I do with all my instruments. I sit right here. This is my little space. Sometimes I use my little comfy chair. Sometimes I sit on the stool when I'm recording. It just depends. It's easier for me to play sitting on the stool than it is sitting in my chair because my chair has arms on it, so that's why I tend to record when I'm sitting on the stool. But this is kind of how I do it. I mean, I sit here. This is my little workstation, and I have everything right here that I need to do recording, and this is kind of how I do it. And that's kind of the process I go through on how I'm recording my music and what I'm doing. And then once I get all the parts in there and get everything in there and get some lyrics in there, I will get it all EQ'd out, and then I'll mix and master it down, and then you guys will get to see it on my band channel and on this channel. So I got another song I need to be working on, so I'm going to work on this some more. Probably do this one today, work on the other song tomorrow, because I might tweak my bass line. Now that I've got it sounds like a pretty decent, solid bass line in there, I may go back in and add some runs and things and play over it and then do that. We'll see how all that plays out as I do it. I may just keep this bass line because I'm a very much keep it simple, stupid kind of musician, and you don't have to get real complicated to write great songs. At least in my opinion, you don't. Some of the greatest songs out there are 3 or 4 chords. And so I'm not like some master virtuoso guitar player. I'm just a guy that loves to play music, and I like writing music, and I enjoy doing these videos for you guys as well. It's kind of my outlet, how I do my music thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm not sure what else I should go over for you guys other than like on these when I'm recording, each one of these is set differently. Like my pan setting for my drums is in the center, so you hear it out of the Bose speakers. But on my guitar settings, one's panned left, one's panned right. The bass is always panned in the middle, so you can get it out of the Bose speakers. And then I will do vocals, and I will do double vocals so I can pan them left and right. That's kind of what I do a lot of times. I'll pan the vocals left and right a lot of times, and have it layered a little bit because my voice is terrible. And the songs that you hear me singing on, I'm using a vocal processor. So yeah, I cheat. I'm not a singer. Don't claim to be a singer. I just try to do the best I can with what I got. So if I could ever keep a decent singer or get a decent singer that would stick around that wasn't a flake, I would have them sing, but it's so hard to do it. So I'm working on just having singers come in and do compilation songs where somebody sings on a song for me because I can get it done. My song Memory, a really good friend of mine that plays another band, she came in and sung that song for me, and she knocked it out of the park. So if you haven't checked out that song, you should check it out. And you should check out her band, the Camel Road Band, as well, because they're really good. And I'm very thankful that she came in. Her name is Tammy Smith, and it was nice that she came in. And if there's any of you people out there that are interested in singing on some songs, hit me up. I'd love to have you come in and do a song. I've got several written that I could use some vocals on. So, yeah. But that's basically how I go about recording, and that's how I record my bass tracks. And it is how I record my guitar tracks as well. But I figured I'd show you guys doing bass. I love playing the bass. I think basses are amazing, and I don't know how come I didn't end up being a bass player instead of a rhythm guitar player. I think it just came down to I could write songs more on that and do fuller songs, and but I love playing the bass. I just love it. I think it's a great instrument. So trying to get better at it, just like everything. But yeah. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much how I do that. That's how I record my tracks with my bass. And we just laid down a track. It sounds pretty good. No, I'm not going to let you hear the whole song yet. I mean, you guys got to hear it in me playing that run, so you got to hear it. But you will get to hear the final product you will get to see that when I finally get it finished and I release the song and the music video for it. Also, if you guys are interested in getting some of my music, you can go to Spotify and iTunes and all those places. I've got 5 songs out right now that are released. I've got 4 videos out right now that are released. 2 of them are instrumentals because, like I said, I'm not a singer. But it would be a great help if you guys went and checked that stuff out and picked up that music. And you guys tell me what you think. Tell me what you guys think about this song. Like I said, this song is in drop D. I like playing in drop D a lot. It's really easy for me on the stage to just drop down to D real quick to do songs for changes and stuff. So I don't really have to change a guitar a lot of times. I can just tune down real fast, tune back up. You don't want to spend a lot of time tuning on stage when you're playing in front of people. But anyway, that's a whole nother video for another time and stuff. So yeah, this is my Fostex MR16. They don't make these anymore, but Tascam makes some great recorders that you can get. They make 8 tracks and 16 tracks. Zoom makes them as well. Again, using this lovely, beautiful SDGR 700. This is an amazing bass. They don't make these anymore. This is an older bass, but it is beautiful. It plays and sounds amazing. It feels amazing. If anybody that's a bass player out there, I will tell you right now, if you can find one of these, grab one. I got this for a steal, and I'm not going to tell you guys how much I paid for it, but I can't believe I got it for what I got it for, and I'm so pleasantly happy with this thing. I love this bass. It's probably my favorite bass out of my collection. I have 5 right now. So, I'm not a bass player. I own 5 basses. But anyway, so I hope you guys liked this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of the people that have already been following me. Thank you. Please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button because that really does help out the channel a lot. And let me know what you guys think about the song. Tell me what you guys think about the song I'm working on. Did you like it? Did it sound decent? Questions and comments about it would be great. I constructive criticism I always take very well. So I love hearing constructive criticism from other musicians as well. If you're going to be a turd about it and stuff, I really don't want to hear from you. But if you got constructive criticism, I'm definitely down for that. So I'm always trying to improve and get better, and as a musician and as a player and as a songwriter. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to let you guys go. So we will see you guys on the next video.